Hello everyone, my name is Teacher Skyla, or Skyla Post, with skylasposts.com, and on this channel you'll find videos all about making an income from home and keeping healthy while doing it. In this video, it's kind of a bittersweet video. I'm going to talk about being an MCM with VIPKID, and I am saying goodbye to that this week. So, yes, let's have a chat about it. I want to keep you guys updated on what's going on in my online teaching life and all of the things so that you are not ever wondering what is going on. First, I want to show you this fun shirt. It says sleep, teach, eat, mock, repeat, hashtag VIPKID MCM life. A fellow MCM made these shirts and I wanted to be a part of it. It was a very wonderful thing. So first things first, what is an MCM with VIPKID? MCM stands for Mock Class Mentor. Okay, so if you know anything about VIPKID and the VIPKID hiring process, whether you're a current teacher, you've looked into it, wherever you're at with VIPKID, a mock class is a stage during the hiring process. You fill out an application. If it meets all the requirements, you get offered either an in-person interview, you get offered to do an in-person demo, a long pre-recorded demo that you submit, or a short demo. Okay, so demo's the first stage after the application, and then you go to the mock class stage, and that's where you have a mock class mentor, someone like me who has a wealth of knowledge, a lot of training, is a current teacher with VIPKID. You must be a current teacher to be a mock class mentor, but that's the face you see when you do a mock class. So you come in to do a mock class, and you are prepared to teach both, and you don't know which one usually, of 2 lessons. And then you have the mentor is pretending to be a student while you are teaching. And that way you have someone who can play off of what you're giving them. So a lot of what we do in that role is that if you don't do something, we'll behave a certain way. If you do something, we'll behave a certain way. And so having an adult do that is actually very helpful because we can adjust our student role to how you're doing. And then in addition to that, we can give you feedback. Wonderful, effective, I can't think of the word I'm trying to think of. Constructive feedback. We can do that for you. I have a child knocking on my door because that's what happens when I try to do things when I finish teaching for the day. So I had been a VIPKID teacher for 6 months, and I received an email inviting me to become a mock class mentor. There was a whole hiring process, just like with anything in VIPKID, there's always a process. There were videos that we watched and graded and trainings, and it was a process. And even once we passed the initial part, they still evaluated us later. Okay, so I came into VIPKID when there was less than 10,000 teachers, and now there are hundreds of thousands of teachers, right? So in that 6 months, I taught many, many classes. I had great parent reviews, and I felt so special to be invited by the company to do this position. It was wonderful because when I started, I had a 3-year-old, a 2-year-old, and 5-month-old twins, right? And it was helpful for me to do in the middle of the night or early mornings while my kids were sleeping. But sometimes I needed to do a little bit of work during the day, and opening up mock class slots helped me to do that. Now, just like regular VIPKID bookings, you open a slot. You may or may not get booked for that slot, and there are times of year where people are trying to get hired and times of year where people are not, so there's fluctuation in bookings and things like that. So I have been doing that since the spring of 2017. So I started with VIPKID as a teacher in November of 2016, and then in the spring, I became a mock class mentor. And it has been a wild ride. There have been many ups and many downs, and we've been through 5 different rubrics. It's nuts. There has been training and training and training and training and changes and changes and changes and changes. Doing the actual mock classes were always a pleasure. I love helping people. It was always a wonderful thing. Well, now we're in 2020, right? Fall of 2020. We all know about this year. We all know about all the things that 2020 has entailed. With that, there have been some big changes within VIPKID. And one of those changes is less and less mock class mentors. So sometime within the last year, I think it's been about a year, they cut the MCM or mock class mentor team in half. And I made the cut. I guess you could say I was still here. I was still a mock class mentor. There have been periods where I was doing MCM work 30 hours a week. There were periods where I was doing it 1 to 6 hours a week. It really just depended on what I needed at that time, what my family needed, life. I was a little bit of all over the place. There's no day, no time of day or night that I have not worked either as a VIPKID teacher or a mock class mentor. Like I have worked all of the hours of the day and the night, all of them. 1 a.m., done it. Midnight, done it. 11 p.m., done it. 3 a.m., done it. Like I've done all the hours, right, between the two positions. So they cut the team in half. We were in the mid 400s with mentors in early 2019, and then it got cut to like 250 about. Well, with the virus, we had a really big push and a lot of mock classes in the winter, like February, March. Those were huge for people wanting to work from home. It makes sense with everything going on with coronavirus. Since then, we've had a huge drop. So VIPKID is cutting back on mentors again. But they actually had a chat with us and they said, if anyone has been on the fence, or I'm not quoting, okay, this is my wording from an email that I got. This is not a quote. Essentially, they reached out to us and they said, heads up. Usually we don't get a heads up. We didn't in 2019. They said, heads up, we're cutting the team down. We are still hiring. We still have people doing mock classes, but the need for the mentors has gone down and the number of mock classes happening daily was cut a lot. I mean, like, I don't know, maybe 10% of where we were at. Like, it's a huge drop. And so they decided to cut the team. I also think maybe one of the reasons they decided to cut the team is so they don't have a need for as many mock class mentors, but then also as we've critiqued and really worked on the rubric, it's easier and easier for the scores to align more closely to each other. So I think with that, I don't know if there's a need to have as many people. I don't know if that made sense. I think that they could have people within head office if they wanted score on the rubric, and they'd probably score close to how we would score because they have made it really awesome. That's my own thoughts. Again, not official. So anyway, with all the things, there was a lot of joy. There was a lot of stress with the position. It was hard because as a mentor, I felt that I could lose my position at any moment. I felt that if my kid knocked on the door, I was going to lose my job. And that was a hard feeling to have for 3.5 years. And until now, the position for me with my life and my family was still beneficial. But right now, I can open up slots and bookings are slim to none. That will change. Things will pick up. There will always be a wave. But basically what they said was, we're cutting it way, way, way down. We're going down to an even smaller, limited number of mentors. essentially they were cutting it a little less than half again. And they said, if any of you who are in this position want to essentially bow out gracefully, again, these are my words, feel free to do that. And I said yes. And right now, my focus is my family, of course, my health and wellness, of course. And then I do still teach with VIPKID 6 days a week. That's my main income at this moment. And then I have been incorporating in OutSchool, and I did really, really, really well this summer. And I haven't done a big push this fall because they're also kind of fluctuating and still balancing out. So with all of the things, I said it was either wait and hope they kept me or choose to say goodbye. So I chose to say goodbye. I've had a lot of changes in my life, in my family recently. We moved out of town, 20 miles out of town, and we already live in a small town. So being out of town from a small town is a lot, very far away from a lot of things. And with that, I've been trying to spend more quality time with my family. And with that, I feel like the mock class position and keeping up with it is too much right now. And again, I didn't know if they would keep me or not. I still don't know if they would have done that because I chose not to continue. So my contract wraps up the end of this month in September. But I'm officially done being a mock class mentor, which is so crazy. I never thought that that is something I would say. I never thought that I would not be a mentor. And it has been a roller coaster, but overall wonderful experience for the past 3.5 years. So if becoming a mock class mentor was something on your list of something that you had hoped or wanted to do, I don't know if it will really be available or an option to many people. I don't know if that is a thing, but for now I'm saying goodbye to that chapter. I also had been teaching group fitness classes the past 2 years, and now with the added distance and time, it's too much away from my family. The return isn't quite high enough for the work. So that's where I'm at. I just wanted to let you guys know, do I still love VIPKID? Yes. Do I still teach for VIPKID every morning? It's what I'm doing. But yeah, I just wanted to keep you guys updated and let you know, and I'll see you soon.